Need some coins for that God Squad you've always wanted? For the cheapest coins anywhere, check out MMOEXP.com and use code ZERK for 5% off your order. Link is in the description.
The whole thing wobbin', wobbin'. When I come around, got the whole thing wobbin'.
We have the Division Dynasty 2 promo releasing this week. They don't put dates in the content schedule, but you would expect on Thursday. I want to go over who I think we will see as the champion of every division for Division Dynasty 2. Now, I do want to give a shout out to Danny GG for being a part of the Nota Gang. If you guys want a chance to shout out in the next video, drop a like in the vid. Make sure you guys are sub to the channel, turn notifications on, and comment down below. Nota Gang. Also, if you guys have not already checked out Underdog Fantasy, we do have the NBA returning on Thursday. Last night did my very first college basketball pick'em of the season, and we ended up getting an insurance W, so we'll take the W there. I definitely will have more college basketball. Might look at hockey today as well. I'm trying to decide which one I want to do. Hockey, college basketball. Gonna do some picks there, but we have the NBA returning on Thursday, and if you guys sign up right now using code ZERK, they will double your first deposit up to $100, and you guys get a Steph Curry 0.5 point special for Thursday. All right, so the first things first, guys, before we can talk about who I think we're going to see as Division Dynasty 2 champions, we need to look at who is Division Dynasty 1 champions and how they went about this. Now, I'm not going to go through and predict, who's going to be the lower cards here. I'm only doing the champion of every division. Also, do not take this video as, okay, this card's coming, I'm going to go sell my player because Zirk said this card's coming. This is literally a prediction. I could be 0 for 8 on this, okay? I have literally no information on this. I'm just doing a prediction video for fun. But when we go through and we take a look at the division, guys, one thing you guys need to know about the Division Dynasty champions is whoever is the champion of the division, they get every team chem for everybody else that is a part of that division as well. You guys can see right here, we had CJ Stroud, Ronnie Stanley, Kenneth Murray, Raheem Mostert, Tyler Lockett, Cameron Jordan, Adoree Jackson, and Alex Anzalone. So, something to keep in mind here in the way that I went about with my personal predictions, as you guys will notice, we got a quarterback, we got a halfback, a wide receiver, and a lineman. So there are, of course, 8 divisions. We got 4 offense, and we got 4 for defense. Now, you might think that it was evenly split up, but that was actually not the case in between the divisions. You guys notice we got Lockett, but then we got, 3 defensive players for the NFC, whereas on the AFC side, we actually got 3 offensive players, and then we got 1 defensive player. I'm doing 2 and 2 for each, so I have 2 champions from the AFC that are defense, 2 champions from the AFC that are offense, and the same with the NFC. Also, I'm going to assume here that we are not going to get the same team be the champion for Division Dynasty 2. So, like for the AFC side right here with CJ Stroud, I'm going to assume the Texans are not going to get the champion of that division because it just wouldn't really make sense. I think that makes perfect sense there, so I just don't think we're going to see, the Saints, the Giants here, the Lions, the Seahawks, the Dolphins, Chargers, Ravens, or the Texans potentially get the champion 96 overall, by the way, is what we should assume here, because these were 91s around the same time that we were actually having 91 overall champions. So it's not like these are going to be, lower overalls. There should be 96 overall champs. I believe that is everything there. Let's get into this. All right, so starting off on the NFC side of things, guys, as you guys saw, there is a quarterback that we got. I'm going to assume that, again, we're going to get another quarterback. By the way, just so you guys will see this here, the description on MUT.GG is like glitched right now. It is just constantly showing every card is the Jamal Williams, but yeah, you'll see that on every card. I'm going to go from the NFC East. Dak Prescott. I think it makes perfect sense that Dak is going to get a Division Dynasty champion right here, get a 96 overall champion. He was not a part of the Team of the Year voting, which I thought was crazy with the stats that he put up. He obviously had one of the best quarterback seasons this year, was in, MVP contention even as well, and wasn't on the Team of the Year voting, has this 91 overall. I think this one makes perfect sense that Dak would end up getting the quarterback for Division Dynasty 2. Now, how good would this card be? I will say, Dak, unfortunately so, has generic 2 release, which is just extremely mid. So if they change his release, could be solid. If they don't, unfortunately, probably won't be that crazy, but I think for the NFC East, it makes perfect sense to get Dak. Next up, we have the NFC North, and I'm going to go with a wide receiver out of the NFC North and the final offensive player from the NFC side. I'm going to go with Justin Jefferson. I think this makes a lot of sense as well. Another big name player who doesn't really have a main card right now. He only has a 90 overall card. People probably even forget about this 90 overall, aka Justin Jefferson. I would love to see this upgrade. I think this would be a really hype addition to the promo. Again, a wide receiver that is not on the Team of the Year nominees list. Of course, with Justin Jefferson, he was kind of injured this year. Doesn't exclude him, I would say, from getting a card from Division Dynasty at all. I'm going to go with Justin Jefferson. I think this would be an absolute banger choice. Now from the NFC West, as I mentioned, I'm going 2 offense and 2 defense. So now we're on to defense for the NFC with my final 2. I'm gonna go with Budda Baker. I asked over on Twitter who you guys thought we could potentially see as, you know, Division Dynasty champions. Budda Baker was, I think, the most commented one. A lot of people really wanted to see Budda Baker get an upgrade. And again, it makes sense. You know, Budda Baker right here is one of the better safeties in the NFL. And of course, only has a 90 overall most feared card. Makes perfect sense to me. Strong safety. I do want to mention one thing though, when it does come to the AFC and NFC, last year, as you guys saw offensively, we got a quarterback, we got a wide receiver, a halfback, and a lineman, and then defensively, not last year with Division Dynasty 1, we got a cornerback, 2 linebackers, and a defensive end. So keep that in mind because maybe a little spoiler, this may not be the only safety on the list. And finally, out of the NFC South, I'm gonna go with Shaquille Barrett. And I'll be honest with you guys, I think this is probably the toughest division that I had to go through and make a pick on. I feel like Dak Prescott, to me, is potentially, like, I would assume anyways, my most confident pick here that I think is probably likely going to get a card. NFC South is the hardest. If we're going with a defensive player, and if we truly think that Budda Baker is going to get one out of the NFC as well, well, then that means that the NFC South is likely going to be a defensive lineman or a linebacker. And it really came down to, when you're looking at the teams, it was between like Grady Jarrett and Shaquille Barrett, and neither of them really had great seasons at all. So yeah, I would say this is like my least confident prediction here. Shaquille Barrett. On to the AFC South, and as you guys saw, we got Ronnie Stanley. I fully expect us to get at least 1 offensive lineman as well, and I'm going to go with Quentin Nelson. I think Quentin Nelson is the perfect selection here. Only has an 89 overall Gridiron Guardian, and yeah, if we need a lineman, we had a tackle. How about a guard now? And when I was looking through the teams that we could potentially get a running back for, it was honestly kind of hard for me to find a team that I felt like made sense for a really good running back that needed an upgrade. But really, I feel like what they could do instead is give us a tight end, and out of the AFC East, Dalton Kincaid. So instead of a running back for Division Dynasty 2, I could see them giving us a wide receiver in Jefferson and a tight end in Dalton Kincaid, and I think this would honestly be an incredible upgrade. I mean, we have a 6'4" tight end here with 85 run block at 91 overall, with 91 speed, good route running, good after the catch ability as well. The break tackle juke move, you know, maybe they would juice that up a little bit, but a 96 overall Dalton Kincaid, this actually has a pretty solid chance at being the best tight end in the game, or at least really up there. This would be a very good card. And out of the AFC North, guys, I'm gonna go with Minkah Fitzpatrick. This also makes a ton of sense to me. As I did say, we got 2 linebackers, okay? We got a middle linebacker and we got an outside linebacker with Division Dynasty 1. With Division Dynasty 2, I could see us getting a free safety in Minkah and a strong safety in Budda Baker, and I think this makes absolute sense here. If we're gonna stick with the theme of, you know, 2 offense, 2 defense for AFC and NFC, well, I'm gonna go with Minkah Fitzpatrick. Steelers fans, you guys have obviously been begging for an upgrade all year. Have not seen a Minkah Fitzpatrick upgrade? How about we throw him right in as a 96? And finally, to end it off, guys, AFC West, I'm gonna go with Patrick Surtain as the corner that I think we'll see in Division Dynasty 2. I think we're going to corner, and I think it's going to be Surtain. And you might say, well, Zirk, he's on the Team of the Year nominees list. Yes, absolutely he is. So is Dexter Lawrence, who just got eliminated yesterday. I really don't think it matters if he's on the Team of the Year nominees list or not, to be honest with you guys, because odds are EA will just give it to somebody else. They just put people on the list for no reason. Like I said, Dexter Lawrence literally got a limited yesterday. Yes, that was a 97 overall limited, and Team of the Year are 96s, so they could give Surtain this 96 and then just, you know, give somebody else the Team of the Year 96 overall. Could be wrong with this. Maybe they really do want to save him for Team of the Year, but I just don't really think it matters if he's on the nominees list or not. You know, we would still like the card here with Division Dynasty 2. So with that being said, guys, I hope you did enjoy the video, and if you did, make sure you guys drop a like in the video, and of course hit that sub button down below. I gotta say, if they were gonna go with anybody else potentially here, maybe like Jack Jones from the Raiders, maybe we could potentially see end up getting the cornerback. But yeah, Surtain makes the most sense to me, being the biggest name. I know he's on the Team of the Year nominees, but I don't think it matters. If you guys enjoyed this video, check out these.